The Miami Dolphins are staring at an offseason that isn't just important, it's defining. There are moments in every franchise's timeline that determine its future, that serve as a fork in the road, where one path leads to contention and the other to irrelevance. And make no mistake about it, this is that moment for Miami. This isn't about making small tweaks. This isn't about adding depth pieces and hoping they pan out. This is about survival. This is about whether the Dolphins are truly a team that can compete with the elite or if they're just another squad treading water, fooling themselves into thinking they're close when they're really not. And if there's one area of this roster that demands immediate and aggressive attention, it's the defensive line. Because right now, what they have, it's not enough. It's not nearly enough. Look at the names. Look at the situation. Calais Campbell? Unrestricted free agent. Benito Jones? Gone. Deshaun Hand? Same situation. That's 3 key players in the rotation who are about to hit the open market. And what's worse? This isn't new. The Dolphins were here last offseason. They watched Christian Wilkins, the heart and soul of that defensive front, walk. They let Raekwon Davis go, too. And what did they do in response? Did they go all in to replace that production? Did they make a statement that they weren't going to let the trenches be a weakness? No. They patched it together. Campbell, Jones, Neville Gallimore, Jonathan Harris, Tertart. These weren't long-term solutions. These were Band-Aids. And when it came time to test whether that patchwork unit could hold up under pressure, the answer was obvious. Look at how the season ended. Look at the games that mattered. Miami's defensive front got pushed around. They couldn't generate pressure when it mattered most. They couldn't stop the run when they had to. That's not how you win in this league. And now? Now they're back in the same situation, only with fewer options, less patience from the fan base, and even more urgency. So what's the answer? The name that keeps coming up is Milton Williams. And for good reason. Let's talk about Williams. Defensive tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles. Young. Athletic. Explosive. He's coming off the best season of his career, 5 sacks, 10 quarterback hits, 17 starts. He's not just another rotational guy. He's a force in the making. And here's the thing, Miami has had their eyes on him for a while. This isn't some new idea. This isn't a sudden revelation. Go back to 2023. Chris Grier picked up the phone. Miami wanted Williams. Vic Fangio, then the defensive coordinator, saw something in him. He wanted him in Miami. He wanted him to be a piece of the future. Because Fangio saw the writing on the wall with Wilkins and Davis. He knew those guys weren't locks to stick around. He knew Miami needed a contingency plan. But the Eagles weren't willing to play ball. Then the twist, Fangio left Miami. He went to the Eagles. And guess what? He got to coach Williams. He got to see, firsthand, what the Dolphins missed out on. And now, Williams is about to hit the open market. And Philadelphia has a decision to make. Do they pay up? Do they keep him in their system? Or do they let him go and reallocate resources elsewhere? This is where Miami comes in. The Dolphins need Williams. They need his skill set. They need his energy. They need his ability to disrupt the interior of the offensive line. But here's the problem, wanting a player and getting a player are 2 very different things. Williams isn't just looking for a new home. He's looking for a payday. He's spent the past 2 seasons proving that he belongs in a starting role, proving that he can be a cornerstone piece on a defensive line. And that kind of production? It doesn't come cheap. So the real question becomes this, can the Dolphins afford him? Because let's be honest, their cap situation isn't exactly flexible. They don't have unlimited funds to throw around. They have decisions to make, priorities to sort out. And if they can't get Williams, then what? What's the backup plan? Because make no mistake, there has to be a backup plan. Miami cannot afford to go into next season with a patchwork defensive front again. They cannot afford to let this be a weakness. Not if they're serious about competing. Not if they truly believe they can challenge for something meaningful. So if it's not Williams, then who? Do they turn to the draft? That's a gamble. Relying on a rookie to come in and make an immediate impact isn't always realistic. Do they try to find another veteran on the cheap? That's what they did last year, and we saw how that worked out.